Asei, Acts chapter 9. But Shaul, still breathing threats and murder against the top ones of the master, having come to the high priest, asked from him letters to the congregations of Damascus, so that if he found any who were of the way, whether men or women, to bring them bound to Jerusalem. And it came to be that as he journeyed, he came near Damascus, and suddenly a light flashed around him from the heaven. And he fell to the ground, and heard a voice saying to him, Shaul, Shaul, why do you persecute me? And he said, Who are you, Master? And the Master said, I am Yeshua, whom you persecute. It is hard for you to kick against the prods. Both trembling and being astonished, he said, Master, what do you wish me to do? And the Master said to him, Arise and go into the city, and you shall be told what you have to do. And the men journeying with him stood speechless, hearing indeed the voice, but seeing no one. And Shaul arose from the ground, but when his eyes were opened, he saw no one. And leading him by the hand, they brought him into Damascus. And he was 3 days without sight, and did not eat nor drink. And there was at Damascus a certain taught one, by name Hananiah. And the Master said unto him in a vision, Hananiah. And he said, Here I am, Master. And the Master said to him, Arise and go to the street called Straight, and seek in the house of Yehuda for the one called Shaul of Tarsus. For look, he is praying, and has seen in a vision a man named Hananiah coming in and laying his hand on him, so as to see again. And Hananiah answered, Master, I have heard from many about this man, how many evils he did to your set-apart ones in Jerusalem. And here he has authority from the chief priest to bind all those calling on your name. But the Master said to him, Go, for he is a chosen vessel of mine to bear my name before nations, sovereigns, and the children of Israel. For I shall show him how much he has to suffer for my name. And Hananiah went away, and went into the house, and laying his hands on him, he said, Brother Shaul, the Master Yeshua, who appeared to you on the way, as you came, has sent me, so that you might see again, and be filled with the set-apart spirit. And immediately there fell from his eyes, as it were scales, and he received his sight. And rising up, he was immersed. And having received food, he was strengthened. And Shaul was with the taught ones at Damascus some days. And immediately he proclaimed the Messiah in the congregations, that he is the Son of Elohim. And all who heard were amazed and said, Is this not he who destroyed those calling on his name in Jerusalem, and has come here for this, to take them bound to the chief priests? But Shaul kept increasing in strength, and was confounding the Yehudim who dwelt in Damascus, proving that this is the Messiah. And after many days had elapsed, the Yehudim plotted to kill him. But their plot became known to Shaul, and they were watching the gates day and night to kill him. But taking him by night, the taught ones let him down through the wall, lowering him in a basket. And having arrived at Jerusalem, Shaul tried to join the taught ones, but they were all afraid of him, not believing that he was a taught one. But Barnabas took him and brought him to the emissaries, and told them how he had seen the Master on the way, and that he had spoken to him, and how he was speaking boldly at Damascus in the name of Yeshua. And he was with them at Jerusalem, coming in and going out, and speaking boldly in the name of the Master Yeshua, and disputed with the Hellenists, but they undertook to kill him. And when the brothers learned of this, they brought him down to Caesarea, and sent him out to Tarsus. Then indeed the assemblies throughout all Yehuda and Galilee and Shomron had peace, and were built up, and walking in the fear of Yah, and in the encouragement of the set-apart spirit, they were being increased. And it came to be, as Kepha was passing through all places, that he also came down to the set-apart ones, who were dwelling at Lod. And there he found a certain man named Aeneas, who had been bedridden for 8 years, being paralytic. And Kepha said to him, Aeneas, Yeshua the Messiah heals you. Rise up and make your bed. And immediately he rose up. And all those dwelling at Lod and Sharon saw him, and did turn to the Master. And in Jaffa there was a certain taught one named Tabitha, which means Dorcas. This woman was filled with good works and kind deeds which she did. And it came to be in those days that she became sick and died. And having washed her, they laid her in an upper room. And Lod being near to Jaffa, and the taught ones having heard that Kepha was there, they sent 2 men to him, urging him not to delay in coming to them. And having risen up, Kepha went with them. And when he arrived, they brought him to the upper room, and all the widows stood beside him weeping, showing their inner garments and outer garments, which Dorcas had made while she was with them. But Kepha sent them all out, and knelt down and prayed. And turning to the body, he said, Tabitha, arise. And she opened her eyes, and seeing Kepha, she sat up. And giving her his hand, he lifted her up, and calling the set-apart ones and widows, he presented her alive. And it became known throughout all Jaffa, and many believed on the Master. And it came to be that he stayed for many days in Jaffa with Shimon, a leather tanner.